There's something strange about getting older. You start to see life backwards. Not through goals, but through memories. Not through checklists, but through whispers of, "I wish I had." And when people reach their 80s, when they've lived the full stretch of a life, certain regrets echo louder than others. They're not about money. Not really about success either. They're about missed moments, unsaid words, and unlived courage. This video isn't meant to make you feel sad. It's meant to make you act while there's still time. Because these 8 regrets are common, but they're also avoidable. And if you stay with me until the end, you might just walk away with one simple promise to yourself. I won't leave this life with my song still inside me. Regret number 1. I wish I had lived a life. True to myself, not what others expected. This is the most common regret heard from people at the very end of life. Not that they didn't achieve more, not that they didn't please more people, but that somewhere along the way, they stopped being themselves. They chose safety over authenticity, approval over truth, a path someone else drew because it was easier than disappointing others. I always wanted to be a writer, one man said at 84, but I became an accountant because it was the right thing to do. And I was good at it, but I wasn't alive in it. Can you imagine waking up at 80 and realizing you were a supporting character in your own life? The pressure to be what others need, the good child, the steady spouse, the dependable worker, it's real. But here's the thing, your soul doesn't forget who you really are. It just waits, quietly, hoping you'll remember in time. Being true to yourself doesn't mean being selfish. It means being honest about what brings you joy, what drains your spirit, what you were meant to create, share, feel, or explore, even if no one claps for it. Because when you finally take off the costume, you might find that the real you was more lovable all along. So ask yourself gently, today, is the life I'm living really mine? Or someone else's dream I agreed to by default? There's still time to pivot, still time to come home to yourself. Regret number 2. I wish I had expressed my feelings more. Most people aren't haunted by the things they said. They're haunted by the things they never did. The "I love you" that stayed stuck in their throat. The "I'm sorry" that arrived too late. The tears they swallowed. The boundaries they buried. The truths they softened to keep the peace. I didn't want to stir the pot, one woman said at 87. So I kept everything inside, even when it hurt. Now I wish I had just told the truth, kindly, but truthfully. We often assume others will just know how we feel, but people aren't mind readers, not even the ones who love us most. And over time, that silence becomes a wall. One missed moment of honesty becomes one missed connection, becomes one whole relationship filled with almost. Expressing your feelings doesn't mean yelling. It means showing up with your full heart, messy, real, and human. It means risking awkwardness to say, "I'm proud of you. I was hurt. I miss you. I'm scared. I love you." Because emotions that are buried alive don't die. They just harden. And by the time you want to say them, sometimes it's too late. So if something's weighing on your chest, don't wait for a perfect moment. The moment is now. Regret number 3. I wish I hadn't worked so much. Ask people in their 80s what they remember most. And it's rarely a paycheck. It's moments, Sunday mornings, laughing over burnt toast, holding a sleeping child, the way sunlight fell through the kitchen window in June. And yet, for so many, those moments were missed, replaced with deadlines, overtime, extra shifts, or a desperate climb up ladders that no longer matter. I spent more time with my desk than my daughter, one man confessed at 82, and I thought I was doing it for her. But now I see. All she really wanted was me. Working hard isn't wrong, it's admirable. But when work becomes identity and success replaces joy, You can lose decades before you even realize what was sacrificed. No one at the end of life says, "I wish I had gone to more meetings." They say, "I wish I had been there for the birthdays, for the walk in the woods, for the bad dance moves in the living room." This regret isn't about guilt, it's about awareness. If you're still clocking in, ask yourself, are you building a legacy or just a longer to-do list? Because time is the only thing we never earn back. And presence, not productivity, is what your soul will remember. Regret number 4. I wish I had stayed in touch with the people who mattered. Think back to someone who once meant the world to you. A childhood friend, a cousin you laughed endlessly with, a neighbor who felt like family. Now ask yourself, where are they now? For many people in their 80s, the hardest grief isn't losing someone to death, it's losing them to silence. I kept meaning to call, one woman said at 85, then years passed, and I didn't even know where he lived anymore. Life pulls us in different directions, jobs, moves, marriages, responsibilities, but connection is like a garden. Ignore it and the weeds win. Nurture it, even a little, and it blooms again. We often assume people drift because they stopped caring, but more often, they were just waiting for you to reach out too. A text, a memory shared, hey, I was just thinking of you. Staying in touch doesn't have to be constant, but it has to be intentional, because at the end of life you won't care about the followers you had, you'll care about the handful of souls who really knew you and still showed up. And it's never too late to call. Not until the phone stops ringing forever. Regret number 5. I wish I had let myself be happier. It sounds strange, doesn't it? Let myself be happier. But for so many people in their final years, the truth becomes painfully clear. Happiness was right there, but they wouldn't give themselves permission to feel it. Why? Because they were waiting for the stress to pass, waiting for the job to end, waiting for the approval, the apology, the perfect timing. Meanwhile, life, imperfect, beautiful, ordinary life, was happening all around them. I spent decades being serious, one man said at 81. Then I realized, joy doesn't ask for a reason. You just have to say yes to it. We're taught to believe happiness must be justified, that you can only feel good once everything is fixed, everyone is pleased, and nothing is out of place. But here's the truth, that day never comes. And joy? It never needed perfection to show up. It lives in burnt toast, in off-key singing, in dancing barefoot at 70 just because the song moved you. The people who die with peace in their hearts aren't the ones who had perfect lives. They're the ones who noticed the good while they had it. So ask yourself, what small joy am I postponing until I feel deserving of it? And then give it to yourself. No reason required. Regret number 6. I wish I had taken better care of my body. We take our bodies for granted until one day something small hurts and doesn't stop. For many people over 80, this regret isn't just about vanity or missed gym sessions. It's about mobility, freedom, dignity. I didn't realize how much I needed my legs until they stopped working right, one woman said at 84. Now I can't walk through the park without resting every 10 steps. The truth is, health isn't guaranteed, but how we treat our bodies today does echo into our future. And no, it's not about kale smoothies and crunches at sunrise. It's about the little things, moving more, sitting less, stretching, hydrating, sleeping, choosing water over soda, going for a walk instead of one more episode. The body you take care of now is the body that will carry you later, or not. And it's never too late to start. Muscles respond. Joints improve. Energy returns, not overnight, but steadily. One senior who started strength training at 72 said, "I don't want to just live long. I want to live well. And now I can carry my groceries again. That feels like winning." So if your body feels tired, love it back to life. Future you is counting on you. Regret number 7. I wish I had taken more risks. Most people think regret is about what went wrong, but the deepest regrets? They're about what never happened at all. The trip you never took, the move you talked yourself out of, the love letter you never sent, the business idea that died in your journal. I always dreamed of living by the sea, one man said at 88, but I stayed put, because what if it didn't work out? Now I'll never know. Taking risks doesn't mean being reckless. It means trusting your aliveness more than your fear. Fear says, stay small, stay safe, stay silent. But your soul? It says, what if it works? What if it's beautiful? What if it changes everything? The truth is, most people don't regret the fall. They regret never jumping at all, because even when risks don't go as planned, they teach you things comfort never could. And if you're still breathing, you're still in the game. So say yes, take the class, move cities, try again. Don't let maybe turn into never. Regret number 8. I wish I had forgiven more, including myself. At the end of life, most people don't talk about grudges. They talk about the weight they wish they'd put down sooner, the sibling they stopped speaking to, the friend who betrayed them, the ex they still cursed under their breath, and, more than anything, the mistakes they made and never forgave themselves for. I carried guilt for 40 years, one woman said at 86, and it didn't punish anyone but me. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing peace over poison. It means saying, that hurt me, but I'm done letting it hurt me again every day after. And self-forgiveness? That's the hardest. We punish ourselves for decisions we made when we were tired, scared, or doing our best with what we knew at the time. But you're not that person anymore. You've grown. You've learned. And that younger version of you? They don't need shame. They need grace. You don't have to carry it all the way to the end. Let it go. Not because they deserve it, but because you do. If you've made it this far, maybe a few of these regrets tugged at something inside you. A decision left hanging. A relationship you miss. A dream you quietly buried. That's okay. The goal of this video isn't to make you feel bad about the past. It's to remind you that you're still in the story. Because here's the truth. Regret isn't a dead end. It's a signpost. A whisper from your future self saying, turn here. Try again. Choose differently. Starting today. You're not too old. You're not too late. You're right on time to make the second half of your life the most honest, joyful, and intentional part yet. So if one of these regrets spoke to you, don't ignore it. Write the letter. Make the call. Book the ticket. Take the walk. Forgive the past. Laugh more. Dance barefoot. Tell the truth. You still have time. Use it. And if any part of this video helped you reflect, feel free to share which regret hit closest to home and what you're ready to do about it. Your story might just be someone else's turning point. Don't forget to subscribe for more honest, healing, and hopeful content, because life doesn't end after 60. Sometimes that's when it finally begins.